Good morning, dear ones. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I've been up in the Smoky Mountains up in Gatlinburg for a week, and my God, the questions are piling up here. And so this first video, though, is going to be on detoxification, the science, the practice, and the reality of. And I would like to make the art as well. This is a book that I've got being written as well. I don't have enough time. So it was really good to get up in the fresh air. It was cool up there, 38 degrees in some parts, so it was cool, but I don't like it that cold. And the reason I've decided to do this is because we need to touch back on this. And then this is like part 2 actually, and I'm doing part 2 before part 1. And part 1 is really, I did that in my first video, and some people are having a hard time finding that. It's on my website, but it's about the great lymphatic system. And so this is, you have to understand your lymph system to understand why detoxification. Why is detoxification the golden key that unlocks the door to vitality, vibrant health, the door that eliminates all dis-ease symptoms, this ridiculous world of diseases? The golden key, detoxification. Incredible art. It is an art. There is no such thing as detoxification in 5 days, 2 weeks. There's no such thing. Detoxification is a process. It can take years to detoxify the physical body and regenerate. Because remember, detoxification is the process by which we reach into the human body and remove the acids, that side of chemistry that is most responsible for the degeneration of the cell, for the mutation and damage of the cell. Because remember, the bottom line is the human body is comprised of roughly 100 trillion cells and 2 major fluids. These 2 major fluids, obviously, no-brainer, takes care of the health of those cells. The blood, obviously, being the life force, the nutritional side. It in itself doesn't have to be a major entity, and yet the medical community is lost in that entity. The reality of the body is 75% lymph in terms of fluids. That means the lymphatic, the sewer fluids, are the predominant fluids of the human body. And I'm going to do another video to be part 1 that attaches in front of this. But most of you get this real well, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'm telling you. But for those people that are new, and another example, the reason I'm doing this is some mother whose daughter has been on the herbs for 2 years called in screaming and hollering at Jennifer, saying, "You're killing me, that these herbs are going to kill you. I'm going to report you to who? God, maybe." And this is what happened. She got a tumor out of her nose. "Oh, I'm sorry. Let's keep that in there for you, honey." And she started getting green mucus out. "Oh, I'm sorry. We could keep that in you, and that's why you could wonder where I parked the car when you get older, or why you have brain cancer." And then she started going into pneumonia-like symptoms. Well, that could be your future lung cancer, but no, you can keep that in there if you want, honey, but you did not understand the reality of detoxification. And this is the thing. I'm sorry. These herbs did exactly what they're supposed to do. This diet did exactly what it's supposed to do. And your daughter should have informed you, or you should have informed yourself. Because this is an educational site. Detoxification is real. It's a reality, and it can be one that's not a lot of fun. But it is fun if you change your mindset and realize you got a tumor out of your nose. You got a tumor out. Guess what would happen if you didn't get it out medically? Well, you might remove your nose. You might remove half of your face. Now, if you'd prefer that over some detoxification symptoms, well, I suggest you go that route. You know, this is part of the problems with some people out there. They're unstable emotionally. They don't have their cards in a row. And so when they take on something like this, they're never successful. Although the body's taking them there, they weird out and freak out. And it's like, that's why this video. Before you detoxify, you might want to review this video. Because this is a reality. Detoxification is very serious business, steeped in the science of chemistry and physics. You know, it's simple to understand this, and again, in the great lymphatic system, we do cover the two sides of chemistry. The base side of chemistry, which is the basic female alkaline healing side of chemistry, and then the acid corrosive side of chemistry. Granted, there's all levels to each side of chemistry, and there can be some very damaging base chemistry. But ultimately, by and large, the most damaging side of chemistry is the acid or corrosive side of chemistry. That's what most cellular wastes are. That's what you're creating in activity, lactic acid. Most parasitic wastes are like uric acid and different acids. So the end byproduct of digestion and metabolism and respiration are predominantly acids. We think basically about stooling and about eliminating waste from the colon. Those are digestive wastes. What we don't understand is there's a whole bunch of cellular wastes that have to get out. Remember, each one of your cells is like a little person. Each one of your cells eat and poop. It's that simple. And so your body has to feed the cells. But medically, there are concepts of you poop in your kitchen. You reabsorb lymphatically, lymph waste. And this is a massage therapy brought into this stupidity. And because of that stupidity, we have major issues. Major issues. 1 million people died last year at the hands of allopathic or the medical world. None died of the naturopathic world. And yet, some of these states are setting up legislation so they'll bar those that do no harm and pat those that constantly kill and harm people on the back. Isn't that amazing? Well, you know, this is going to change, because if we don't change it, God's going to change it. You know, karma has a little tail like a dragon, and it can whiplash those that are playing this hideous game of allopathic stupidity. You know, it's one thing to have a good surgeon to repair the human body, but when you use allopathic and toxic pharmaceuticals in the world of health, in the world of treatment of body symptoms, this is where the problem went wrong, because they don't understand. And when you don't understand and you're going in a blind room with a chainsaw, somebody's going to get hurt, and that's what happens. So it's unfortunate we have such a killing machine that's allowed to exist. And my God, we can't get these pharmaceutical drugs. What are we going to do? We can't get these killer antibiotics or these killer chemo drugs. Oh my God. You know, I looked at that and it was almost like I was in a surreal world of ridiculousness. Oh my God, people are panicking. Hospitals, we can't get these toxic, dangerous drugs. Life-saving drugs, chemotherapy, a life-saving drug. I was listening to on the news this morning about the breast cancer group. They've been around a long time, and now they've helped women to live over 5 years. Live over 5 years. You know, with breast cancer, every 74 minutes someone dies of breast cancer. That's ridiculous. You know what? Breast cancer is very curable, and not in the terms of diseases. If you treat it as a disease, the chance, the likelihood it's going to kill you is going to be high, because you can't treat anything. Because there's no diseases out there. This doesn't exist as a disease. And as long as you play their game, you're trapped. And you're going to give money and feed this hungry organism that has no clue to what health is in the first place. So learning detoxification is vital to all of you. And for this lady that got a tumor out of her nose, yellow or green mucus out of her, got pneumonia-like symptoms, those are common eliminating symptoms. What did you think detoxification was? You know, I can tell you that any time your body pops out a tumor on its own and the medical doctors don't have to go in and cut it out, how lucky are you? You don't realize how lucky you are. So this is some of the problems, and I seem very passionate about this, but I've been this 40 years detoxifying people, and you've got your wackos out there that just take it out there like crazy and don't understand this, and then you've got those like most of you guys that are really stable and you understand what it is. Some of you will absolutely have very little healing crisis whatsoever. But understand, detoxification, there's a science behind it, and the science deals in the two sides of chemistry and the science of physics, or magnetics, energetics. Obviously, we're plugging you into a wall socket. We're plugging you into the highest amount of energy we can. And when you're in a neurological condition, you want the highest voltage you can get. That's the fruit, because you're into regeneration. Remember in spirituality, when someone says, well, you're going to die here, go to the darkness, look to the darkness, go to the dark force. No one tells you to do that except the dark force. You know, everyone says, go to the light of God, go to the beauty of God. Well, that just happens to be the highest magnetic energetic field we can comprehend, and then we can't even comprehend that. You know, some say that God is as bright as 10 billion suns. Others say more. Well, my God, you can't comprehend that level of intensity, that level of consciousness. Matter of fact, very few souls have been privileged to enter those higher realms while maintaining a physical human body. It's almost impossible because you just won't come back. I can tell you, I've been to places where I struggled to come back here. Struggled, but was told it was essential. So I struggled to come back. Who would when you're basking in the tremendous light of God, you know? So we have to bring that light as much as we can to this world and get out of this decay of disease thinking and this idea that you're going to die if you have cancer. That's crazy. Get into the art of detoxification. That is the art of being well, the art of health and vitality. It is an alkaline or base chemistry predominant experience. That means it's a fruit and vegetable experience predominantly. Remember, the air used to be, and most fruits and vegetables used to be 80% base to only 20% acid chemistry. That's a pretty good ratio. If you look at chemistry and the way these ratios are found in nature, you'll find that most of these ratios are around 80% base to 20% acid chemistry. And one, obviously, because acids are so corrosive and aggressive, but two, they're also the byproducts of chemical activity. And when you have acids being produced, it's like the pollution. We're all freaking out because the pollution is now at a level that is very serious. Lung cancer went right around GI tract cancer. And most people don't understand secondhand smoking, this or that. It's all about acids and all about bringing acids into the blood. And of course on its way through the lungs, damaging tissue. So real serious. Also about congestion and mucus and tumors and cysts. It's all about that. And yet people don't realize the insane mucus forming dairy products that we consume. Why anybody would push the use of milk. The Dairymen's Association has a lot to answer for. Why would you push something that's not nutritious? You can't say that ultra-pasteurized milk is nutritious. You'd be lying. You'd be deceiving the American public, wouldn't you? Because it is far from the truth. You have a glass of orange juice that has more calcium available than 4 glasses of milk. What do you think? So this is a bit of a serious deception put out by some of these massive corporations. I can see why these people are fighting corporate greed, where it's insane. You know, the lies and the propaganda. Well, you great souls have to see through that if you want to survive on this planet. You must learn the art of detoxification, because it is an art. Because when you start turning on that alkaline switch, I don't care if it's cold air that does it. I don't care. Notice that the detoxification symptoms matches cold and flu-like symptoms. Notice European doctors used to say, don't treat these cold and flu-like symptoms because it only causes more problems and it suppresses what the body's trying to eliminate. If you'll notice, cold and flu-like symptoms are symptoms of elimination, of expectoration. And that's exactly what happens when you go out into the cold, when you eat raw fruits and vegetables, sometimes when you go on a normal saline drip. And whenever you start turning on to the alkaline community, the base community in chemistry, you are creating a cationic experience. And a cationic experience is an experience where things start breaking up in the body. Fluids start to move. Solidification, calcification, cholesterol plaquing, dehydration. All those things are starting to go the other way. Rehydration, the movement and breaking up of solidified mucus and sputum, the breaking down of tumors and cysts and abscesses. All this is a chemical and a physics process. There is total science behind this in every sense of the way. But it's also a reality that you must understand that detoxification can rat you out emotionally and mentally. We're so used to being polarized to the negative side that when you hook to the light, it can be a little disconcerting sometimes. Most people talk about God but couldn't begin to touch the dress of the Supreme Being or the foot of the Supreme Being because of the intensity of that and the unbalancing that it has. So there's a process it takes to let go so you can handle the beauty of the allness of it all. And that's emotional things, and that's mental things. So in detoxification, those are reality. Like this one lady, she went right off, freaked right out. She should have been praising the glories of the Supreme Being. My God, I got a tumor out. Where was that? Thank God, my God. She should have been happy. And yet she freaked out and cussed us and said everything bad to us. You know, this is common. We have to live with that because we have people call in like that. They don't understand the process. Well, why did you start it? Because we really try to educate you. It's in my books. It's on the website. It's everywhere. It's not only in my books. Anyone that's ever detoxified anyone experiences these same symptoms, whether you live in Hong Kong, Russia, or you live in northern Alaska. Guess what? It's a natural process that takes place when you start eating good. When you start eating the food your body's designed to eat. Your body starts healing itself. What's wrong with that? That's what you're doing. So detoxification is very real. The lymph systems are so bad, though, in humans. It's unbelievable. I've listened to all these babies that are dying, and this morning this one little infant stopped breathing. You're going to see a lot of this. I mean, the kidneys and adrenal glands, and these kids are just not even existent hardly. We have some serious neurological through the adrenal gland connection and kidney, which is lymphatic connection. We have some serious problems. And I think those of you that are really getting smart in this, are seeing this everywhere. You'll see it on the news when they talk about these kids. The very serious issues we're facing here with the children. We have to do this as a society. We have to wake up to the cell and the genetic weakness of cells and what we have to do to change that. And that's why you guys are groundbreakers in the way. You guys are really going to be those that are out there and holding the torch of the Supreme Being. And saying, this is the light that there is. That's the only light you got. You show me another way to regenerate tissue. You know what? You can play with stem cell all you want. There's already a way to regenerate tissue. You know, everything we do medically is trying to get away from responsibility. You know, it's taking you away from reality and the core issue. What you eat, drink, and breathe, and what you put on your skin, guys, that's how you bring the outside world of chemistry and physics in. And it's all about chemistry and physics, because chemistry and physics at this mundane physical level rule. You know, and that's a fact. I mean, consciousness is guiding that, no question about that. So the detoxification has what we call healing crisis. This lady had healing crisis. Healing crises are very real, and I write about them because there's everything from simple cold and flu-like symptoms to blindness, to paralysis, to tumors popping out all over you, to your teeth getting loose and a mouth full of abscesses. These are very serious and scary healing crises. Some people panic. I think I told you about this one pancreatic cancer case. All her teeth were loose, and she had one pulled, and she came in and was telling me about it. She's going to have another one pulled. I said, no, healing crisis. By the time the week was out, all her teeth were loose, and she had 7 abscesses. Medical doctors have no clue to what that would be. And that's unfortunate, because in another 2 weeks on the Heal All tea and moving with the raw foods and going down the detoxification pathway, the teeth, the gums were locked back on those teeth and no more abscesses. You know what she did? She just saved her teeth. You know, this is the whole key. Once you understand acidosis, and you understand the corrosive effect of acids, and you understand the gigantic lymph system, and how that lymph system works in your body, you've got it. You've got that key. But you've got to ride the ride, and like we talk about here, you've got to wear the robe. Wear the robe sometimes like getting on a bronco bull and riding that bull, or taking it, because it can take you up and down emotionally because of the hormones and steroids. It can take you down a road of hell. But the end of the tunnel has a bright light, guys. The end of the tunnel, the light is so bright and full of vitality and vigor and stamina and consciousness and awareness. That's the key. Unless you want to live in hell and darkness, then there's only one way to travel. And as you grow spiritually, you're naturally polarized to eating better. You naturally get rid of the decayed flesh in your life. You naturally quit sucking on milk. You naturally get rid of these things just as a product of awareness and consciousness and intuitiveness. So, need to do this one video for those out there that don't understand the reality of detoxification. Simple symptoms are cold and flu-like symptoms, the running of the nose, the coughing up of mucus out of the bronchi and lungs. Well, thank you. No one ever died from pneumonia except when you go to a hospital and you take antibiotics. No one should ever die from pneumonia. Your body's getting rid of a lot of congestion. Guess what forms masses and tumors in the lungs? Same stuff you're coughing out, my friends. Same stuff. And out of the sinuses. Most people can't breathe or smell properly. People snore. People have sleep apnea. People can't hear right, taste right. Well, of course, they're saturated with mucus. People are coming in with extreme head pressure, vertigo, and equilibrium problems. One poor soul we have, her blood pressure never gets above 70 or 75 over 50. Major cerebellum inflammation, brain tumors, brain cancers on the rise. Alzheimer's on the rise, dementia. It's a nightmare, but it's all caused from the same stuff. Because there isn't a million different things on this planet that causes a million different symptoms. This is where they're lost in the field of dreams and intellectualism. Get reality here. Detoxification can lead and rebuild anything that's out there. We've talked about some of these cases, and the reason I do is to show you the power. So why the lady wanted to put herself on the power of regeneration with neurological conditions, the power in skeletal conditions, the power when you're born without tissue to regrow tissue. You know what? We haven't got a clue at the highest level you can reach. I looked at Arnold Ehret and thought the reason he translated so early is he reached the highest he could at this point. Time for him to go on to another adventure. He reached all he could reach here. So that was, the only reason you would leave early would be that way. You're done at this level. And so this is some cool levels. Remember I told you the man that stuttered, and Arnold Ehret, had him on a lot of fasts, and they were walking down the beach, and he started coughing and started coughed up the great big wad of mucus, and he never stuttered again. Suppose he freaked out and said, "Oh, I want that mucus back in there." That lady that went on this, you want the tumor back in your nose? You want that green mucus back in your sinuses and in your lungs? You can have it back if you want it. This is the kind of reality that detoxification offers you. The beauty. Change your mind. The beauty is this stuff was in you and now it's out of you. And that's what I used to look at. Oh man, look at that nasty stuff coming out. Boy, that was in me and now I'm glad it's out. My cells can go, oh, thank you. The sun is shining today for me. And that's what you have to realize. That the body is congested, constipated, acidic. And this is what's breaking it down. These aren't diseases. This is from what you eat, what you drink, and what you breathe, and what you put on your skin. Yes, we're full of chemicals. Yes, we have a toxic environment. Yes, we have a mad science community that has no clue about reality. Yes, we have an allopathic, but they've only grown because we let them grow. Most people walk with fear. Like this one lady, she walks with fear. Well, walk with knowledge. Grab a hold of awareness and knowledge. And there's nothing you can't accomplish here. So sorry for the aggressiveness of this, but at the same time, it's vital that those people out there understand detoxification, and that is an art. It is a science. It is a practice of, and it is certainly a reality. Going through detoxification isn't fun. Your back can hurt, your bones hurt. Anywhere you have a weakness, you will feel that. Most of you that have the iris work here, I always tell you where you're going to feel it because it helps you to feel like, oh good, this pain, he told me I would have that. Okay, I do that because of what you're going, oh my God, I'm getting worse, I've got a problem. No, I'm going to show you right where you're going to experience these, wherever you're weak. And that's the beauty of iridology and the iris camera. It'll show you how much lymph you got to go through, but also your weaknesses that are going to reheal itself. Now, how beautiful is the fact that you can clean this human body out, you can regenerate its weaknesses, and in the end, you can take a decrepit, debilitated, acidic, decaying human body and rebuild it into a fine, beautiful specimen of the Homo sapiens species. I think it's cool as all get out, you know. So, and I know most of you do, and most of our subscribers are incredible beings. You guys have took this and grabbed this. It's those that come out that are walking in frailty and walking in emotional stupor, that are walking with their heads down in the ground. Take them out. Get the sunshine on yourself. Start grabbing life by the horns. You know, we become so pseudo in life. You know, I've always said that the best experience is that everyone should have been raised on a farm. I tell you that sure, it makes you a totally different person in the way you perceive things, touching the reality of this earth. Of course, you go on from there, but still, most of those people have no reality of the earth there. So have fun with detoxification. That's what it's for. If you go through some tough times, we're here to help you. We're here on your side. We can't control that. That's nothing we have to do. We didn't create you. We didn't create your body. We didn't create your lifestyles. We didn't create your toxicities. You did. You know, you agreed to come into this body as a soul. You came on, you ate certain ways, and now we're helping you to unravel this. And, you know, if you don't want to unravel it, we don't care. I mean, it's up to you. You know, we're here to offer our knowledge and awareness, but learn detoxification. It is an incredible process of wellness and health, and that's what this is all about, the art of detoxification. The end goal? Cellular regeneration and genetic remembering of cells. That leads to the vitality and health of the human body, because it's all about the functional ability of each one of your cells, because each one of your cells is a contributing factor to the whole machine here. And when you have cells that are decaying from acid buildup in the body, cells that are suffocated by yellow, green, and black and brown mucus, when the body's decayed from a lack of awareness of cells from genetic decay, you're not going to be well, and you're not going to enjoy life well, emotionally and mentally either. Hormones are going, steroids are all going to be whacked out of shape. And if you want to be well, you have to go beyond this treatment concept, which is ridiculous. If you're going to treat yourself, use homeopathics. At least they're not toxic. And then you can detoxify as you're going on. Really learn the art of detoxification. We just slap the raw foods with it. Fasting has always been the top of detoxification, always. Water fasting is from Jesus, Buddha, Mohammed. I mean, you go right down the world. All these spiritual giants fasted. And all the high health people always fasted. And you can feel the difference when you fast. You can feel the difference when you fast on water, to when you fast on grape juice, when you fast on lemon juice. So you play around, you have fun. You fast on water, you fast on grape juice, you fast on lemon juice. You have fun with this. Because the game is between you and what you've done to your body. And taking the laws of nature, taking the laws of science, what we know in science, not pseudo-pharmaceutical science, real science, and physics. Look at quantum physics and what we're discovering about intelligence and consciousness. Spiritual people already know that. But we needed a tie for the intellectual. We needed to give them a roadway to God. And quantum physics is offering that roadway. But okay. But detoxification is a very real experience, guys, and I appreciate you listening to this video. Had to put this one out because of this lady. It's just, this goes to every single one of us. Detoxification isn't a I feel good all the time scenario, and if you're that toxic where you go right into tumors popping out and you're getting pneumonia type symptoms, you're one toxic puppy, and that's serious. I suggest to those that are in that environment to get back and to go deeper and get this cleaned out. That's why we are experts in detoxification. We're here to help you. That cuts the men from the boys, those that can take you down a road of pneumonias and stuff like this. Because if you've got congestion in your lungs, it's going to come out. Because it's either come out or down the way you've got pneumonia or any type of COPD. Enjoy that if you will, but it's sure a lot better to get it out now and not suffer the consequences in the future, because breathing is nice on this planet. But this is all about an art in helping people. The hospitals should be detoxification centers with flowers and plants all around, and the understanding and the knowledge of chemistry and physics as it's applied to health and vitality, as it's applied to the human body. Not how it's applied to laboratory rats and some pseudoscience playing outside of the realm of anything that makes sense. So hospitals need to turn themselves into detoxification centers, learn the art. Medical doctors learn the art of detoxification. Yes, you have tools there that you can use for the most advanced, because there are those out there that are extremely advanced. And detoxification is a tiptoe through the tulips. Let me tell you, push, pull, start, go. Sometimes I stop detoxification in people. Sometimes I kick it up another notch. It's learning that art of when you go deeper or when you back up a little bit. You can always visit the deeper, but you sometimes need to slow up. Sometimes we give people things in detoxification, like cooked foods. Once in a while, throw a piece of dead animal your way just to keep you balanced. Some people feel they have to eat dead animals. Okay. But the bottom line is learn detoxification. And you'll not learn it any more than strap on the pants and ride the bull, put the robe on, and learn that healing crises are very real. They're anywhere from minor aches and pains to severe pain, to the expectoration of kidney stones and gallstones, to the expectoration of tremendous mucus out of the lungs and bronchi giving you pneumonia-like symptoms. Okay. What do you think pneumonia is in the first place? Pneumococcus? 40% of pneumonia cases have no pneumococcus present. Doesn't sound real to me. You know, we're always blaming the messenger and not the end product of mucus and diet and lifestyles and mucus-forming foods. We don't want to blame that. We want to blame what God has on the planet to help us deal with that. So learning the reality of this is important for you, and I do appreciate your lovely ones. I apologize for this video in certain ways, but in certain ways you have to learn detoxification and the power it offers you. It's a very real power, and it's a very real experience. And you can have ups and downs, or your experience can be smooth and right on down the road. Not everybody has these gigantic healing crises. Some don't. Some have very little, simple. Others have tremendous ones. I've had blindness. I've had paralysis for a few minutes, an hour, and then it's all gone. And now they have a vision to die for. They have health and vigor. I mean, it's amazing what one can go through. I have no control of this. By simply eating the foods your body's designed to eat, and taking a few herbal formulas designed to enhance the function of cells and to help clean the body out. That's all we have, guys. That's all we have. Except your consciousness and the reality of what happens when you hook to God. And bringing in that gigantic power and energy is also part of the detoxification process. So have fun, ride the bull. If you get emotionally ratted out, grab a hold of yourself. Find that center, find that nowness, and that's why I do these spiritual videos with this. Because for those that are emotionally ratted out, that's your adrenal glands. Those that have too big of egos, grab a hold of that thyroid, parathyroid. Those that don't feel like they're inferior to everyone else, grab the thyroid. Same thing. Start empowering yourself. You're all beautiful souls. You're all worth it. You're the beauty of God here on this planet. Don't sell yourself short for any reason whatsoever. Everything is God here. Start viewing everything as God, and your life, I guarantee you, will be totally changed. Every animal you see it God in expression. Everything you see, the chair, the desk, God in expression. And pretty soon you'll still, like Rumi, you'll see every single atom as God. That's nirvanic. That's ecstasy. That's bliss. Because it takes the separation. It takes the fear out. It empowers you instead of disempowers you. And that's what this is all about. That's what detoxification is about. Because in the end result, you'll be leaving your physical body here. So getting it healthy, good art. but learning who you are and learning who you are beyond the physical body, better, because you will be leaving the body, and you don't want to leave in fear. You want to leave in joy, rejoice in beauty and excitement for your journey. And the same way with leaving what you created here. So it's all fun, and it's all good. So you guys, thank you so much for viewing these videos. I have a lot of questions. I'm going to be busy this week. I'm going to shoot out a lot of videos, and unfortunately, the gentleman that does our shipping is on vacation, so Chris has to do it, and these are going to be lagging a little this week, so apologize. We're just a small little place, so we're trying to rectify that, but I have a lot of questions to get to you, and I will do that. Someone has got some B12 questions again. So I started to have vision problems taking B12 shots. I don't give any of that. And then creatinine, the kidneys. Of course the kidneys. This is why detoxification is focusing a lot on the eliminative organs. The kidneys, that's creatinine. You know, we're losing our kidneys, and yet man is not focused on the kidneys. We are the #1 clinic around the world that's focused on the kidneys and adrenals as intensive as we have, and the essential need of moving lymph. That's not out there, but you guys know it, and you guys are going to be the healers of the world, and are. The stories I'm getting about you guys are really good. So keep it up, guys. Thank you very much. I love every one of you. Thank you for viewing our videos, and they're your videos too. You're part of the family here. I feel real close to a lot of you, and I've never met you, but I feel you and appreciate it. Thank you. Namaste.